Hello, my most amazing artists. Today we are going to learn about a contemporary artist named Jen Aranyi. Contemporary means that they are still living and working on their artworks today. These are a few of Jen Aranyi's artworks. She loves to create landscapes or pictures of the land. She's a watercolor painter and likes to add lots of details. She also sometimes paints on fun things like wood. If you are in person learning with us, you are going to write your name and your classroom teacher's name on your paper. Then you are going to trace a circle from a circle tracer. Or you can create a large circle by tracing something at home like an ice cream bucket. You will want to use drawing guides to follow along with, or you could follow along with my demonstration video. First, we are going to draw what's called a horizon line. You can draw in pencil first or go right in with Sharpie. A horizon line is something that separates the earth and the sky in a landscape picture. After you draw the horizon line, you're going to be drawing in your mountains, kind of just like a zigzag line. Then you'll draw in your shapes for shading. We're going to use a type of shading called hatching. Hatching is using close together straight lines going in one direction to show shading, like in this picture of a man, or this picture of a hand. Adding shading helps make something two-dimensional look three-dimensional. When you are adding the hatching lines to your mountain shapes, I want you to make sure that they are very close together. We do not want them to be super far apart. When we are shading in our mountains, we want to make sure that there are only hatching lines on one side of the mountain. We are going to be showing depth in our landscapes. Showing depth means that when things get closer to the horizon line, that looks like they are farther away. Things should get smaller as they go back in space. When we draw our trees, our smallest trees should be near the horizon line, and our larger trees should be closer to the bottom of your paper. Then I would like you to please add in some lines on your trees to make them look like big tall pine trees or evergreens. Once you are done showing depth with your trees, you can absolutely add any sort of creative details that you would like. Maybe you want to draw an animal or a tent or something super crazy. It's totally up to you. I love to see your creativity at work. In this one, I'm going to draw a river. If you are drawing a river, make sure that it gets bigger as it gets closer to you and that it's the smallest by the horizon line. Same things with your trees. The teeny tiny ones should be on the horizon line, and the larger, taller, bigger, and wider ones should be closer to you. That means at the bottom of your page. Remember, we want to be showing depth in this mountain landscape picture. Depth in art is making objects appear closer or farther away and making a two-dimensional picture look three-dimensional or showing distance. You may pause this video now so that you can look at the drawing guide. When we paint our projects in, we are going to use analogous colors for the sky. Analogous colors are colors on the color wheel that are neighbors. There are always 3 analogous color neighbors next to each other on the color wheel. Can you find 3 analogous colors on the color wheel? Here's a picture of Jen Arani using yellow-green, green, and blue-green, 3 analogous colors. We are going to use watercolor paints to paint in only the sky of our landscape mountains, kind of like Jen Arani, leaving the mountains and your trees and land black and white, and painting just the sky. Here I used blue, purple, and then I mixed them in the center to make a blue purple or blue violet. Or maybe you want to use more warm color analogous colors like a sunset. In this painting, I chose to use red and red-orange, as well as orange. Here I'm painting the red, then I paint the orange, and I mix them in the middle to make red-orange. The last step will be to cut out your painting once it is dry. We'll cut around the circle that we had traced before. Then I would like you to think about some different titles for your artwork. Usually, I like my title to have something to do with the objects in my picture. So I wouldn't want to name this landscape Dancing Donuts at a Disco Party. I would probably want to name it something that made a little more sense with the picture. Once you have one of the 3 favorite titles picked out, you are going to write that title and your name on this black background paper. Then you can use a glue bottle using the rule ... not a lot around the edges. Or you could use a glue stick instead, only gluing one line around the edge. I like to hover above my paper before I glue it down, so I make sure that I get it centered. Then you'll want to give your picture a back rub so that it sticks super well.